Okay, it should be live.
All right. This is the Continuing Committee's November Board of Directors meeting. In attendance, we have me. I am Brian Schaeflein, Director of Operations and current Chairman. We've got Justin Ford, CFO, Maggie Geppert, Executive Officer, Scott Bowman, who is Director of Communications, Charlie Plain, Director of First Edition, Jark Ott, Director of Second Edition, and Chris Sonsonby, Director of Organized Play. First thing on the agenda, which is pretty light this time around, is approval of minutes. Did everyone get a chance to look at the minutes posted from the last meeting?
I move to approve the minutes.
A second.
All right. Any opposed to approving the minutes? All right then. Minutes are approved. Right on into the department reports. Maggie, how's it going? I know you've been working on the FAQ.
I have. The FAQ has turned into, it's now a 5-page document that is broken down into general. I've got a first edition specific section. I have an organized play specific section. I solicited input on a second edition, a special edition or second edition specific section. But yeah, basically right now I'm going to specific people who have specific knowledge of things that I don't know and asking them, all right, we've got this thing that I think should go in the FAQ, but I don't know the answer to this question. Like, how can I connect to the Committee on Social Media? I don't do any social media except the Discord. So I'm like, so what do we have? And we found we have a Twitch account that none of us knew about. We have Facebook and Twitter, so we're getting the links for that stuff and putting that stuff in. That's basically, it's a mopping up operation and getting feedback from CC, from people in the CC saying, should I keep this? Should I keep this very esoteric paragraph that I wrote about the different formats of first edition that I thought was really funny, but it was also 11 o'clock at night when I wrote it. Yeah, so, and also I'm gearing up for the period of review. So the period of review is beginning, I guess normally I start posting things about, hey, I need somebody to host, or what format should we do that thing. So that's probably going to go out. Planning to do an article, I guess maybe to go out December 1st saying, hey, this is start gearing up for this. The questions will be open. We'll do the answer videos sometime mid-January, and then the period of review is normally February 1st through the 8th for the vote. But we do have a big change this year because we voted to change the membership rules. So you have to have an active premium membership now to be eligible to vote in the period of review. So yeah, that's gearing up right now. And those are the two big things that I've been working on. I will be soliciting input on a site features video, but I don't know if I should hold off on a video that shows all the features of the website, because I don't know how close we are to that.
Go ahead and do it.
Oh, okay, go ahead and do it. All right. Go ahead and do it then. I gotta say, liking the Zoom to YouTube thing, because that makes making videos like that much easier. I can just share my screen and say, hey, look at this cool thing that we do. So I'll be asking everybody for, what are your favorite features on the site that I should feature on this video? Otherwise, I'm still probably just going to be talking out my ass on it, but at least I might have a little structure. All right, that's all I got.
Maggie, feel free to invite me if you need help talking out of your ass. I do that for a living, and I'm quite good at it in our community, so I'm happy to. Charlie knows,
Yeah.
given our last game.
Okay, that'll be fun. Hey, what's your favorite thing? Oh, what's your favorite thing? Hey, I love the virtual pack creator. That's like my favorite thing on the website.
That'd be great.
All right. Yep. So that is my report.
Alrighty. Charlie, first edition stuff?
Sure. The biggest thing going on right now for first edition is Will of the Collective. We're give or take halfway through. So the community decided to make this year's edition was Closing a Broken Link. And the broken link everybody picked was Goth. And we decided to make it an event that gives you access to other Klingon cards. Not personnel or ships or anything, but events and interrupts and so forth. So we have a version of the game text, and we did a week and a half of play testing. And the feeling I'm getting right now is that people like the card that we have created, but do not think the card that we have created is Ga. And that's partly a failure of my process. But it's also collaborative community design, which is, you get what the majority of the people vote for. That's not assigning blame. It's complicated. And as one person pointed out, this is probably why we don't do verbs with community collaborative design. And that's very true. So the next decision point is going to be essentially, do we keep this card and make it Ga? Do we keep this card and make it not Ga? Or do we pump this card over to the designers and try something else for Ga? So that'll be the next step. And then we'll probably be working on this. Oh, hello, kitty. This cat just popped up on the table. Hi. This is why we run into 2021 a little bit, just because of all the time involved. But we should have a card finished in January and move that card through the production process, whatever it ends up being. Project Storm is the next 1E set. It is moving towards being finished. Testing is continuing, although this is the time of year where testing kind of always grinds to a halt. Although with COVID and most people not traveling, that may not be the case. But that should be moving towards finished, hopefully early 2021, and then releasing a month or two after that. And Project Quarantine is going to be up to testers next. I've talked a little bit about that, but it's like a Q themed booster shot set. So it's going to be 9 cards or so that refresh the Q mechanic in 1E a little bit. It's not designed to and will never be a top tier, everybody's using this mechanic, but right now it's pretty much unplayable. So the goal is to sort of bring that to at least playable at a fun level. And the next big set after that is Project Rogue, which is being designed, going through quite a bit of design work. The design team is working hard, and there's a million other projects in the works in various stages of development, and what comes out in what order is largely going to be dependent on who gets done when. But I'm hoping to post a project status update on Tuesday. So look for that, although it does take a long time to write, and Tuesday is very soon. So we'll see. Have a couple bits of personnel news. We'll be writing a public announcement on this, but as of yesterday, my playtest manager, Austin Chandler, has resigned, largely for personal reasons. So he's stepping back, and I'll be looking for a replacement moving forward. I want to thank Austin for his year or so of service in that role, and the years he's spent with us over the past decade. I wish him well. There's some other staffing news, but we'll talk about that a little bit when Brian goes, I think. And things are going well. There's a lot of irons in the fire that we're trying to get solidified enough that we can fill you in and let you know on what's going and what's coming and what's happening. So, but keep playing online if you can. If you're quarantined with people you can play with them. A private little war is really fun, like really, really fun to play. Excuse me. So give it a shout out and play when and where you can, and stay tuned for more exciting winning news. So.
I have a question. Was the name of Project Quarantine set before coronavirus came around, or was that just?
It came after. It was a it was a tongue-in-cheek reference to 2020 being a disaster and Q. So
Okay.
blame Dan Hammond for that one. That's exactly his sense of humor. So
All right.
Charlie,
TJ.
if you need anybody
Oh.
to play test the tent stuff, I'm happy to give it a whirl. I like playing, the Q Flash stuff. I like playing Q Flashes.
cool. I'll let you know when we post it. And if anybody out there is interested in being a playtester, just let me know. It's basically at this point is, are you willing to do it, and can you either play with somebody or play Unlucky, and we'll bring you in and get your feedback. So, yeah. Oh, and other news in Tribbles, we are slowly beginning working on an interesting idea for 2021, but there will be more Tribbles news soon.
All right. TJ, second edition.
Yeah, second edition. The next set, the set Charlie started with, is the Xmas set. We still hope we can do it in time. Maybe it has to be lead a short time period, but we are working hard to keep it on time in the timeline. If it has to be late, I hope to delay it for no longer than beginning of New Year, or related to Christmas here is Holy Three Kings. That is around 7th January. So that is my timeline for this set. We hope to do it till Christmas. It has passed everything. It just has to be going to art as a last stage. Then we have Project Connor being at playtest right now. That will be the next set after the Christmas set. After that, I have Project Diana. I have a detailed look in it. It looks very good. As I said last time, it is about hologram, Voyager, something like that. And then the most important news is the community set. The community set was an experiment. At the moment, I can say the community set will be easily go to a size from between 36 to 54 cards. With what I wonder, we got some really good ideas from people making cards and subsets of cards, where we can say we have a subset of 9, 12, 15 cards. I hope these cards can be sent in UP within the next 2 weeks. And then we will go for a first checkup. And at the moment, we have some ideas from players about Bajoran cards, new Bajoran keywords. It hasn't been tested, but it's very interesting around the emissary keyword. Then we have some TNG cards. We are working on some holograms and Android cards, and we have different cards where people just give me ideas of 1, 2, 3 different cards. But the response was better than expected for first try. So I think it can be realistically 27, 54 cards, depending on what. Maybe we have to split it, but the feedback was good. Yeah, that was my personal favor to have this set done. And then we have Project Justice. I don't know when to do it. At the moment, I think we can have, when it's working normal, every quarter of a year set. And I have enough sets and cards and ideas till middle of 2022 at the moment. It all depends on playtesting and results, but it looks good. Yeah.
Scott, how about communications? What are you guys up to?
For the most part, it was a productive month for communications department. As many people know, we had an emergency article about emergency errata for playing by the rules in the second edition set that just came out. And I want to commend the communications team and the errata team and second edition team for working together quickly and efficiently to get that information out alongside a new image of the corrected card. So that turned out well. And I think we did a good job of getting the message out there to people that, whoa, this card has changed before it even, became legal because it was doing wild and wacky things. Other than that, we've had a pretty calm month. Other than as Charlie mentioned in his report, since Austin Chandler Darksaber has resigned, he resigned from pretty much all of his duties, including working on our social media. So Department of Communications will be looking to find someone to replace that effort that Austin had done as a long time volunteer. So I echo all of Charlie's sentiments about thanking him for all of his hard work.
Okay, who do we got next? Chris, ops?
If I'm ops, we're in trouble. I'll be organized play though.
Sorry, organized play. The OP thing, it just, my brain always.
So I love that my dogs choose to bark right now as soon as I start talking. So I apologize if anybody can hear them. So organized play had a pretty good month as well. A staffing update that I'll get to at the end, but right away, we had a number of regionals that happened in person. We had a handful of nationals that happened in person. And all of those went off without a hitch. Obviously, as we're aware, 2020 continues to drag on, and attendance is not what we would hope, but the people who are coming out and playing are having a great time. We ran the local Minnesota regional here. There was one in Fargo. Jules run Austria Nationals and Tribbles. And I believe there are a couple other regionals that I can't remember off the top of my head, but all kind of happened between last month and now. We also are finishing up the Subspace series. We've crowned our champions for the 2 online Masters of the Universe events. And the Tribbles is now going to continue, I believe, rather than a Subspace Championship event, it will be a league event. We've had a handful of applications for leagues, and including 2 now for online play. The Tribbles included will be the 3rd different one. So we can keep playing, as the winter drags on. As Charlie mentioned, if you are not currently playing due to COVID or quarantine or just not comfortable playing in person, please consider playing online. You can be a degenerate like me and just play sealed events where you don't have to build any decks first, which is kind of the reason I've been doing those. Or you can, jump into some of the other more competitive constructed events. Speaking to online play, specifically, we have had 3 people apply for the opening for online organized play coordinator. That's kind of a mouthful. And one of them unfortunately withdrew, but out of the 2 other applicants, one accepted this morning, and we are proud to be able to announce that John Carter will be taking over as your online play coordinator. I do want to thank the other 2 people who applied and the number of people that those applicants had reached out to get feedback. John actually had a number of good ideas for putting structure more into Subspace Champion Series, league play. What are the differences? What do you earn? And the other applicants also had really good ideas for ways to improve it going forward. So I would encourage anyone listening or watching this later to give John a pat on the back for totally changing hats. He was in the 1E side and the rules side, and now he's over on the organized play side. So with that, I believe that's everything for organized play. If there are any questions, I'm happy to answer them at the end.
All right. Justin, you want to talk about finance?
It's been a pretty busy month, just working getting a lot of the backlog of reconciliation stuff done for the past several months, and made really good progress through the last month. So happy about that. Getting completely caught up has been the goal. So that's pretty much been my main focus, just getting things balanced and reconciled over the past couple months. So I don't have to scramble for filing 2020 taxes with the state, because I want that done, get it done quickly, and move on with life. So it's been pretty busy, pretty quiet for the most part. Promenade's been pretty quiet too over the last couple months, over the last month. So yeah, it's been fairly quiet, but very productive.
Okay, I guess I'll go over to me for ops. So I know there's a question about raffles. I know we all want to get another one in soon. I know one thing we needed was some top loaders, shipping supplies. So and we should just be getting that order ready now, right, Justin?
Yep, I got the email this 5 minutes before this meeting, so we'll get those ordered after the meeting's done.
Okay. What else do we got? Okay, so there's some changes in personnel or staffing, I guess, maybe organizationally, as Charlie alluded to earlier. The art team, we're reorganizing that so that there's a team that is directly responsive to 1E. There's a team that'll be directly responsive to 2E, and there will be members, that are working on both teams. But essentially, we'll have a 1E art team and a 2E art team, and then probably Charlie's panning to the cats, and then probably some general website art. I guess maybe not a team, but it might even just be me. Who knows? But general art stuff as well. That is the idea anyway. We'll see how it works out going forward. But right now, and I think the 1E team is staying pretty much the same for art. 2E, if anyone is interested in being on the 2E art team, you can contact me or TJ on the board. I think we're probably staffing up, I would suppose, on that end. And TJ's nodding his head, so that seems like yes. That's the news there, I think. Let me think what else. Rewards program. I have been testing small bits of code to at least start to get something into place for that, so that we can do rather than do, say, manually tracking volunteer. What do we call them now, Charlie? I'm blanking. What do we call the volunteer?
Just volunteer rewards.
Okay.
The idea, the original pitch was to do give it a Star Trek-y name like platinum or credits or something, but I'm only really doing it in one place right now, and it's a colossal pain in the ass.
Yeah. Keeping track of all the things the volunteers do and rewarding them for them, and not just that, but membership in general. You'll be able to apply rewards points that you earn from, say, playing in a tournament or winning a tournament towards, getting a promo of your choice or something like that. So we're starting to look into how and test how that can be implemented. And yes, I am still working on a darker theme for the forum. It's not quite as simple as I would like, just changing the colors and giving you a new CSS style sheets. That's partly because of the forum software, where changing that means essentially telling it there's a whole new forum template. So anytime anything in one changes, I'd have to change it in the other. And so I'm trying to make a way so that that's not necessary. And it is just the style sheet, but that's not quite the way that the forum software is designed. So that's taking longer than I would like. But I am still working on it for everyone who wants the darker colors theme. I think that's where we're at right now for ops. Yeah, and I don't see any old business or public comments. So unless anyone sees any comments in one of our other channels, this might be the end of the agenda.
We want to briefly talk about the purchase of product like we were hinting at earlier. Is that, we want to
Sure.
talk about it and give people the chance to comment on it?
Sure. So we kind of have broad stroke ideas to buy some, sealed product, whether that's boxes or packs or whatever, as the price allows and as our budget allows, to kind of have a stock in place for people to purchase as, a tournament kit for, say, a Warp Speed event or for an OTSD event. So the idea is for us to have product in place so that there's at least a central outlet, I suppose, for our players and our tournament directors to get products. And that is oftentimes very difficult, I know, for international customers. Maybe it becomes easier if we do it. I don't know if that will be the end result or even the
This
end
is
goal.
specifically for sealed, right?
Yeah.
Is that what we're thinking of? Yeah.
So things like, and Charlie would have to decide whether or not we would do stuff like reprints of promos, Decipher promos or not. Were they called promos or were they?
Well, are you talking about fixed cards like the OTSD?
The fixed promos. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. So that would have to be a project that would also go through if we were wanting to replicate an OTSD product, but if we
because OTSDs are becoming extremely hard to find. So,
or if not hard to find, then at least very, very highly priced.
Yeah.
So, but another alternative also is, and maybe it's something we do in conjunction. We stock the Voyager starters and boosters for Warp Speed or other things, but we haven't made any decisions on that. We're just kind of spitballing, like what would we want to do in that regard. Like I have pack stuff on hand that I am more than happy to give to the CC cause because it's pack. So
Yeah, and I would add, obviously you're talking about organized play to a degree if you're looking to buy product for sealed events. And, I believe we have the capacity in our donation button to label what it's for. Correct me if I'm wrong, but let's say, like, for example, if I want to run a sealed tournament at Gen Con next year, I might donate $100 to buy the product so that the CC has it when we get to the event and we can give it out that way. So it'll definitely be more, hopefully we're not spending all of the CC's money to do this. We can get some donations in either anonymously or, maybe Charlie can say this is Charlie's tournament because Charlie bought all the damn products. So you're going to all come and play in Charlie's tournament. Hopefully things like that.
I think the idea is mostly prices are going up. So if we want to invest in some now, not to hoard it, but to make it so that we can run at higher level events. And I don't think this would necessarily be something like, we just send it out for every random local, but it's like, I want to do a sealed regional, we can make some of that available. Or if we want to run sealed events at Worlds in the future, Gen Con or other big events, that we have a stockpile of products. So we're not having to charge, $40 to play an OTSD or a Voyager Warp Speed because that's the going rate. I think that's forgive me if I'm speaking incorrectly, but this isn't about like hoarding product or driving up the market value. It's about, I think this is exactly what we should spend some of our money on, is just making sure we have options available for different formats as we move forward.
No, and it's one of the most popular sealed for 1E for Voyager Warp Speed. Right now, the current price is $9 per person, based on the price for the sealed product. And I'm more than likely that's probably going to go up because Voyager is a pretty popular expansion. And so, yeah, definitely, if we can definitely do it, so people can run those events, would be great to have.
Yeah, so I mean, part of this is asking you guys out there who are watching, what sealed product do you want us to keep, if we do keep any? Like, do you want us to have Premiere and AU? So if we do a virtual remaster of OTSD, you can easily run OTSDs, or is it like not worth it to you if you can't get the box and the fixed cards? Or is Warp Speed something you'd be interested in? Or do you want us to go hard on Mirror and Tribbles and make a classic, an original series format? Or what do you want us to get for 2E? There's not a lot of sealed 2E out there though, so it's different. But a lot of this is 1E, so forgive me for talking about that. But what do you want us to, if you like the idea of us having some on hand, what do you want us to stock, I guess, is the question. So, because there's at least some internal debate on whether we should go with Voyager versus mock OTSDs. So help us decide.
Well, we can put up a request for comment there. I'd also like to see an upgrade to the virtual pack creator at some point, where you can tell the virtual pack creator, make me 8 packs of Blaze of Glory. Where you would then get a printable file that's 8 packs of Blaze of Glory. Make me 8 packs of Necessary Evil, and then I could just print things. I could do a rainbow sealed for in real life. I mean, it's a lot of work. It would be a lot of work to cut that many cards, but
that would also be cool too for those of us that have crap tons of packs. Like just extra card. Like, make me a random Necessary Evil pack, and then I go to my box of tons of it, and I make them, and I bring them to my local event with like actual mocked up packs, and then I take the cards back because it's Necessary Evil. But so
I've done that before. I did a rainbow sealed a few years ago because I happened to have 8 packs of every second edition expansion except for Necessary Evil, and so I went to the boards and I said, hey, name me 8 random Necessary Evil rares. And then I made packs in the deck builder and printed them out, so people got a pack of Necessary Evil for their thing. But it would be cool if we could do an upgrade to the virtual pack creators where it would just do that.
Okay, I'll add it to the to-do list.
Okay. Low priority. There's so much good stuff on the site as it is. All right, I don't have anything else. I mean, I'm perfectly happy. I think people would prefer OTSD over Voyager Warp Speed, generally speaking. I know there's a bit of Voyager bias in the Pacific Northwest, so. But Voyager Warp Speed is a lot of fun. I played that Brian Sykes' Return to Talos for Voyager Warp Speed, and that was an interesting tournament to play. And
I don't want to speak for you, Maggie, but I think the OTSDs are where you're going to bring back your old players, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're going to know the pack era. They're not going to know the Voyager. And to Charlie's point, it's not like we're trying to exclude second edition. I think by default, second edition, the ID draft has taken over as the format of choice for sealed events, just because they did a fractured time sealed that sold out like the year it got released. And we've never had that ability to use OTSDs. They made a plethora of OTSDs and not as many fractured times for whatever reason.
Maybe somebody will have a brainwave and we can make our own version of a 2E OTSD, which was fractured time, but we can do something virtual. So.
Looking at 2E product, 2E, the Premiere sealed was a pretty big hot tournament that people ran, and there looks like there is no 2E Premier for sale on these main sites for sale. So that is unfortunate.
Well,
That was-
that's,
Sealed is basically done.
yeah, that's why I built those new sealed decks. I built those 8 balanced sealed decks to work with the virtual pack creator, because yeah, you can't get, I have some sealed starters. I have some sealed second edition packs that I'm reserving for Worlds 2021, but you can't get anything else. You can't find Call to Arms starters. Those are gone.
Yeah, you got Call to Arms boosters, but no starters. Yeah.
So yeah, so that was the genesis of my project with the 8 starter decks, and also another virtual pack creator upgrade I need to formally request. Just a tweak to the code for that format. But yeah, you can I did that to replicate the sealed experience from the Premier starters, because you can't find them anymore. And that is much what I've found at Gen Con is that Idic Draft is fun. It's my favorite sealed, but you really do need to have some experience playing to play in an Idic Draft tournament, because you need to know what the cards do. I've watched people who have even played in standard sealed events before at Gen Con, people who I know, who I've met at Gen Con, who've played in Idic Draft, and watch them get extremely frustrated with the experience because it's fast and they don't know the cards. So if we're talking about sealed events that are more open for the general public, that's a standard sealed with the 60 card starter and 3 packs is a better format for new players, or very super casual people who just want to play a game at Gen Con.
Write that stuff up for me somewhere so that
Yeah.
I can
He was
make
not
sure.
taking notes.
All right.
Well, it's not
Send-
just that, but I'm not as familiar with 2E, so if you say something, I might interpret it wrong.
Yeah, okay, yeah, send Brian pack creator request. All right.
Also, I note that over in our YouTube comments, Marcus Eberlin, who is master of all things Lackey, has noted that Lackey does have a pack creator within it as well. So you can always use Lackey to generate packs if you wanted to do it that way.
True, very
True, I
true.
forgot all about that.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, and that's
Oh.
how Brian Sykes has been running all the sealed events for the Return to Farpoint and Return to Talos 4 this year, is by generating packs in Lackey.
But you can't print from Lackey though, right?
No, no.
No, but it generates if you're building replicated physical packs, you can just generate them in Lackey and then go pull your cards. Or build a PDF file in Deck Builder. It generates the content.
Save it as a deck in Lackey, upload it to the site where it will print out the full PDF for you if that's what you want. That's a workaround for now anyway. Any other comments that anyone saw?
Oh, it's been pretty quiet.
All right. Is there anyone opposed to calling an end to this meeting?
No.
Nope.
All right.
Nope.
Then we shall consider